With over 400 celebrity interviews and tons of pop culture nerdiness, Too Opinionated is a safe haven for your inner geek. Find us at meistercon.com or on YouTube under MeisterCon Pod. And please subscribe. It would really help us out. Thanks, everybody. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Too Opinionated. I am super excited today. I've got actor Kristos Andrews with me. So welcome, Kristos.
Thank you. Appreciate you having me, Michael.
Boy, I was telling your people that our entire family, big The Bay fans. I've got 4 kids. They've got kids of their own and their family stuff, but they watch. We started watching as a family back when The Bay first came out. And then, over the last however many years, they've all grown up, moved out, started their own families, but they're still watching because we still talk about the episode.
That's really appreciated. Thank you for mentioning that. Nice to hear. It's always nice when a family can get together and watch something and appreciate the same thing. That's so cool. I'm really happy.
It's nice when the kids get old enough that you can kind of stop watching kid programming together, and you watch a little bit more. There's that weird period as you're growing up where if you watch the adult stuff with your parents, it gets a little awkward, but then once they get past it, they get a little older, then you can kind of enjoy stuff together. And the Bay was one of those that we kind of latched onto because it's kind of addictive. Once you get in there, it's kind of addictive. There's so many characters, big cast, good actors, well written. Yeah, we love it.
Yeah, we hear that often enough to be like, dang, this is really good encouragement that we can just keep going. And Gregory and Wendy keep, they write in a way that it's fast paced, but you get a fill of information and the heartstrings are pulled all the right amount. And it's like we've heard it's addictive quite a bit now. So hearing you say, reaffirming that's really cool. And to know that you started like back when it was initial, and now you and your kids, your family
now it's in like 5 households instead of just the one.
It's awesome. Addictiveness, it just spreads households too. It's just great. This is
that's what a good show does, don't you think? It if you're watching as a family and it's a really good show that you enjoy together, it puts everybody in a good mood, and then the show ends, you can talk about it a little bit, and I don't know, we have a blast.
Thank you. Like my mom and her brother, they're both they're English and they have a very particular taste, and they were just hanging out for a while together, and they couldn't find a show that they liked, even though it was the top build shows that you would just that have all the success. They're just next one, can't find something, I don't know. And they just they particularly did not choose the Bay just so they knew they weren't biased, but then they finally landed on it, and they actually, in a non-biased way, were like, oh, like actually we're enjoying every moment, every beat. So that told me, wow, this is a good like full circle of knowing someone went all the way around to anonymity, and they enjoyed the show. But like a forced non-biased position. So that was cool. I appreciated that.
That is really cool.
Yeah, thank you. They watched the whole thing together. It really meant a lot. It was cool. Yeah.
It's kind of, it has elements of like the next generation of soap operas, has a little bit of that. It has the a little action, a lot of drama, a little bit of comedy. I think that's why people get so addicted to it, because it gives you so many different kind of genres mixed together.
That's right. It's a good blend of everything, good balance. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, now it has a spinoff.
Yeah, that's right. It does now. Yeah, that was a lot of fun to shoot as well.
Yeah, that's terrific. Well, Kristos, let's start this way. Talk a little bit about what got you into acting. What made you want to get into the entertainment business?
I'm a native to Los Angeles, so it's kind of always around me. I'm also a native to England, to London, and then Surrey, West Sussex, just south of London, countryside. But being pretty much half, if not more, native to Los Angeles, it seemed a bit like why not? Like if something where like a random, castings will happen, whatever. I was skateboarding, I got a few parts through that, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to do it. My mom always encouraged it. I know it's funny, but she was very much she had a strong voice when it came to encouraging things, and she
That's a
wanted
good
me.
mom.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm happy she's an artist herself, and same with my dad. And they're like, just they told me that I've proven I could really focus on something, and if I can get good at something, like and previously skateboarding, they acknowledged it. They didn't like that it was dangerous, but they're like, well, you still, got good at it, and if it's true about the way someone does one thing is the way they do everything, like they were open to encouraging like a sort of unique path, like you don't have to encourage artistry or the creative path as much as I'd hope to see, but it was nice that they were open to it. And my mom put me in some plays when I was like early teens, and I kind of got over it though. I wanted to just go skate with my buddies, and but it kind of came back around in senior year of high school when one of my best friends was like, dude, like you have an open elective, do this they're doing Fight Club the play, let's go. Like and thankfully I was cast in that, and that was a good time, yelling the first two rules of Fight Club. And it kind of was like my own decision at that point. It had nothing to do with my parents or anything, so it felt more like empowered, good time, empowered decision, good time with friends. One thing kind of led to another from there, where I was just open to it. And I guess I was doing commercials, skateboarding, Best Buy, that was fun, Wendy's, T-Mobile, then, and it started to sort of grow in that way on me. But imagine I could actually, just book a role that actually has a meaty amount of material and a substantial amount you can put your heart into and just actually dive in. So I didn't expect that, but it all kind of, one thing led to another. Like it felt pretty serendipitous. My mom was having like a event at her art gallery in Marina Del Rey. Some industry, like entertainment industry friends of her, publicists, kind of joined, and one way or another Gregory came, and my mom's publicist introduced me to him, and we became like friends. I kind of came to set and started to study slash shadow what he's doing as a friend, and like study with him as actor to director kind of study. And one thing kind of led to another. He had a tragedy in the family, and he wanted to honor them with a story about them and do a movie. And he said he couldn't just do a cold cast, just cast an actor he doesn't really know, just for the sake of. And he said that he kind of just turned to me about it and said, you can do this. You got to do this. Like, it's going to be an honor to the family. For me, I'm thinking, damn, this is a lot of pressure.
That'd be stressful.
Yeah, I was definitely stressed, but at the same time, I'm like, God, the things life will present, and you got to honor it or something. You got to go with it. You got to, like, wasn't one to shy away from things. And my God, though, what a amount of pressure to honor that the right way. It's I would have to be New Yorican, like Puerto Rican, New York. I'd have to live his lifestyle that my friend Gregory, my brother, basically, that's how we became family project. But his family, they ended up, it went from them being like, who are you? Like some act, to then now we're happy that you're here and you're gonna do this. You're gonna you know, you're going to honor our, you know, our family member. And at that point, I'm like, dude, I'm not even, I have to put 1,000% into this. I cannot.
Yeah.
So I was like, at that point, a half and half, almost, even still more skateboarder, still competing, like still doing my skating thing. But that changed my life, that project,
Yeah.
that all of the circumstance that came together. And I had felt this severe slash very duteous honor to perform that allowed me to just say, you know what, I'm gonna put the skateboard down, and I need to put my all and my 1,000% into this to do this the right way, not for the myself or a career even, but the circumstance I am currently in. I must honor, and I didn't know what was gonna happen next. Maybe go skate, go back to sports, go back to who knows, like, but I really got into that role as an indie film, first lead role, but such an honor. The movie, such a beautiful tribute.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what changed my path. That's what I came out of that.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I'm just, you know, this is my, I think this might be my path. Acting, this is like, that changed me. So that's really where it started to set in. And then I was working pretty much
Yeah. Well, Gregory said you've done like 6 movies in the last year and a half, something crazy like that.
Yeah.
Where do you find the time for all
that? I appreciate you asking. To put sleep down the priority list far enough. I'm just, yeah, it's it fits, it works. It's you get your R&R, and then you go through the times where you don't get that much sleep, but you should sleep for sure. But it's like you just kind of put your all into it and power through.
What do you do when you're filming a show or a movie? You know, how do you balance that with, say, staying in shape or doing some of the downtime activities or the sport activities that you kind of enjoy? You know, do you have to just put those to the side while you're filming, or do you still try to fit that in somewhere? Because if you fit it in, then you've got even less time.
That's right. Yeah, it's crazy. You're exactly right. You get less time because you're just trying to keep up with your good habits that you need to, you know, hit the gym, you need to work out. For me, I won't be able to make it to the gym all the time. So, yeah. And that's just a kind of a must. I have, like, especially coming from a sports background, it needs this like physical experience. It needs this physical activity. I got to do it. Like, I try to do it every day, but if I can't make it to the gym, because you gotta you know, dress up to whatever, sweats, gym clothes, whatever, you go to drive to the gym, you go work out, it kind of takes some time, and then you get back to the house, whatever. And instead I'll just go and do handstand push-ups against the wall or something, like for shoulders. Like if it's a shoulder day, I'm just do handstand push-ups.
Well, is that all? Just some handstand push-ups. Yeah, no problem.
That's funny. Yeah, no, that's
but that's true. I mean, you'd have to be able to do some body weight exercises, because yeah, if you take whatever, half an hour to drive to a gym, half an hour to get back, you're there an hour and a half. I mean, that's a lot of time that you don't have.
That's right. Yeah. So you just kind of make use of, there's a lot you can do with your own body weight, definitely. Yep. And like randomly picking up stools, like lifting objects. I have like weights and adjustable weights, whatever. And thankful to have a fly machine.
Like nice.
But it's,
well, the pandemic kind of taught us you better have some of that home equipment. Yeah, just in case.
Yeah, dude, I definitely agree. There's like a shortage too,
oh my gosh, I couldn't find dumbbells anywhere.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was like searching for gold or something just to get.
It really was.
It's
I remember walking into a Walmart and they had like a 30-pound kettlebell and maybe, a couple of 15-pound dumbbells, and I thought I'd hit the lottery.
That I can resonate with that feeling. Right.
That's pretty good.
Mount some dumbbells, some workout equipment. Yeah. Yeah.
It was a crazy time, that 2020. I hope we never have to go through it again. I mean, there were some positives there too, but I prefer not to have to go through that.
Oh, likewise. It's one of those things where you look at it in retrospect, you definitely never want to go through it again, but it had its way of putting things into perspective. Yes. And
did you pick up any new skills while you were on quarantine?
This is a question I should actually know, like, because I know I did a lot of research. I learned a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty good use of your time right there.
Yeah, it was nice, and I picked up the pieces on things that were on the shelf, like project stuff, and I even applied to go back to school, kind of thing, and
good for you.
Yeah, doing I'm doing some. I'm actually studying now, Harvard Business School online. I was grateful to be like a lot, like to be enrolled.
That's not an easy one to get into. I mean, that's impressive.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It definitely very grateful for that. Very, very cool. Very cool.
You'd mentioned your mom and dad being artistic and creative. I mean, aren't those the best parents to have, as far as kind of allowing you to find your own path, but also being encouraging, whatever creative outlet that you want, they're kind of supportive that way. An artist or a creative person, they kind of get that, and I think that's, my wife's an artist, and she's so open to everybody just doing whatever their passion is. That's so kind of neat.
I agree with that notion completely. I feel like, any walk of life, any vocation someone chooses, that's gonna be automatic, and it's not gonna be easy. Like, it requires work, it requires focus, it requires that. It might as well be something that you're passionate about, that you love, because that way, looking at it in a full picture, you're not going to run out of energy for that.
Yeah. So am I right that you actually won some medals with the X Games doing the skateboarding?
Yeah, definitely. I felt like I was lucky being in the right place at the right time, the right competition. One gold medal, amateur for sure, and it wasn't pro, but I was
still. Man, that's amazing. I remember when X Games first came out, and it was kind of a big deal because you got to see all of these new sports activities that most of us had never really seen in a competitive fashion. Of course, everybody's out skateboarding and stuff, but just in that competitive fashion. And it was kind of a big deal. Now we kind of take it for granted, but back then when it first started, that was a big thing.
Yeah, that's right. That's really cool how it's definitely off the wall, like outside the box. Sport, or just you're not used to it's definitely the non-traditional Americans. It's like I always thought, the extreme sports. So I was always interested in those as a kid. Thought they're just rad, like,
oh, they're fun.
That's definitely, it could have been growing up in SoCal as well. But it was just, I always loved skateboarding, surfing, snowboarding, and like anything that was like along the lines of extreme sports was super cool. I developed an appreciation for like football, baseball, basketball later. But it started definitely with, the extreme sports are the most badass. Like, I want to do that. So that's the kind of started when I was like 8 or 9. And that's how it led into me just doing skateboarding.
I think that's awesome. Have you got to do skateboarding on camera? yet?
On camera,
Like in a movie or a TV show, if you got to pull out a skateboard?
yeah, it was I did it for it was a Nickelodeon show called Super Sportlets.
Oh, I forgot about that one. Yes, I've seen that one when the kids were younger.
Yeah, that was one of my first jobs, but I was cast based on my read, but my skateboarding abilities too. So I was like a skateboarding superhero, and that I saved the day because I grinded the rail the right way, and like that kind of that was just kind of fun, and being part of that was fun, and having a team, the Super Sportless team, that was cool. And then I did a few commercials as a skateboarder, and yeah, I did
Oh
a
yeah, yeah. I knew you did commercials at skateboard. I've forgotten that. Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, no worries. Yeah, that was it was a lot of fun. Did some print stuff too. Skateboarding kind of transitioned me into a few things, some print modeling stuff, like the commercials, the other TV
Yeah.
shows. It was great. It helped me to develop a sort of taste for, wow, it'd be cool just to really indulge in this art form of acting without a skateboard attached to things, just to see how that is. There's definitely that sort of bug that bit through that process as well.
Yeah, for sure. So I know you've got like a closet full of Emmys, which is crazy. I mean, definitely deserved, but I mean, how many do you have now?
I appreciate that acknowledgement. It's I'm very fortunate to have 11 at this point.
11 Emmys. I mean, because you're still a pretty young man, that's impressive. Some people work their entire life to get one and
That's
maybe
right.
not get it. And you've got 11, and am I right? You've got them across the field. So it's like producing, acting, directing, maybe?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's mostly my work, I'd say, is mostly I'm known for my acting, but it's nice to be able to fully embrace the other positions that make this beautiful like art happen.
Yeah.
Even strengthens my position as an actor to step into and fully like execute from a producer position or from a director position. Of course, Gregory's the main director of the Bay, but like it's I've been given the opportunity to step into that position, which I'm grateful for. It definitely gave me a broader scope of the big picture and what to worry about, what not to worry about as an actor, what's not important, and then what is important. Because you're a piece in a full picture, and you're
Right.
full for the audience to absorb the meaning of things, and the through line is so important, the ups and downs so important. So it helps you to understand really where you stand as your character when you are able to just take a look at the big picture and actually in a professional way to engage in getting this full picture to be realized. And then you step into act, and it just helped me perform with more awareness.
Right.
It was
I
nice.
mean, it makes sense. It probably helps too when you have to work with other directors or producers as an actor. It probably helps that you've been in their shoes before, so you can kind of understand where they're coming from when they're asking for certain things.
Yes, you're exactly right. It helps you to completely resonate better with
Yes.
directors and producers you're working with behind the scenes. It helps across the board, even co-stars. You understand. It just helps you to understand where people are coming from. It makes the whole
Yeah.
process more conducive all around. Definitely increases my level of respect, because I know there's a lot to juggle for directors, and then depending what depending what tier of producer you are, there's so much to juggle on these ends, and there's so much genius that goes into the process from their end too. So I really respect them.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. For sure. I would be the worst to be walking around with an Emmy because I would always be carrying it around. It'd be like hanging from the mirror in the car. I'd be walking in a restaurant with an armful of Emmys. I'd be like, oh, I forgot I was carrying these. Let me set these over. Let me move Miami out of the way so you can sit down.
I love that. It's true what you said about people working their whole life to hopefully get, one nomination. It's such an honor to, I would be, elated, generally speaking, and forever to have one nomination, because that is such an honor from your group of peers. World, and such a affirmation. Your work is checking out, as you're putting your heart into something and it's appreciated officially. And one nomination is enough to say that. So it's such an honor and a beautiful thing for it. Like I'm just blown away that the process has continued, but it all started with that first nomination, that first feeling, first win. And each time just feels like a sort of a new beginning again. And it's with full appreciation each time, because the work is evolving as I go. It's changing. It's never the same exact thing.
Right.
It's that same feeling of gratification and reaffirming that you're doing good work. So I'm just so grateful that the process has continued. The lineage continues.
Yeah, you've got the right attitude about it. You're so humble about it. I would probably screw that part up.
I feel like dude, I love your humor. You're like, it's great. The self-deprecation reflects your humility too. Like you're just a good vibe, man.
I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. I wanted to ask you about Murder Anyone.
Yeah, definitely.
It's because the movie, I love the idea. So you tell me if I kind of got it right, but it's almost like a movie within a movie. Yeah, you've got kind of a creative team trying to make. Is it a movie or a play they're trying to make?
Initially, it's a play, and then they're just
it kind of grows from there, right?
Right, exactly. It's It is this play concept, and then it grows from there into a film, and it exchanges dimensions as you go, and even the genre itself morphs.
Well, yeah, because like whatever they come up with gets acted out.
Yeah, that's
right. It's kind of a neat, like I had Spencer Breslin was on the show and talked about, and he's like in a chicken costume or something.
Yeah, he's a good sport about being in the chicken costume.
Yeah, too. He loved it.
Yeah, that was a thick costume, and dude, he killed it. It was so funny.
Yeah. It's pretty great. It's pretty great. Well, and I've had a few people from that movie. Lisa Wilcox had a little role in it, and she was one of the first guests that when we started. It's been a little over 4 years ago. She was one of our first guests that we had on, and then Galadriel Steinman came on the show a couple weeks back too. And they were all terrific.
Okay, cool. Yeah, each of them, they're so awesome to work with. Like Gayla, us having our scenes opposite each other, it was really fun to bounce off each other.
She's funny.
Yeah, she is. She's really funny.
Yeah,
and working with her, she's great to kind of hit a tennis ball back and forth with, and like a lot of takes were like that. It was really cool. And Lisa Wilcox, we go back now. We worked together the first time like 10 years ago, and she's family to me like ever since. It's really cool.
She's so talented. I mean, she's been doing this most of her life, and just and fun to talk to. She was a great interview. That was back when we were doing them. Still, we didn't have Zoom back then. I mean, their Zoom was, I'm sure, was out there. We weren't using it, but
yeah, it wasn't like a.
No, it was just audio back then when we first started. And admittedly, I think I told you we were clueless. We just wanted to spend time together, father and son doing stuff together. And then we just, we were, the one thing we did right was we were very open about not knowing anything. So we were very, kind of, you mentioned the self-deprecating. We were definitely doing that at the start and just having fun with it. And somehow that kind of grew into an audience. And here we are, 4 years later. And it's a thing now, where before it was just more of a hobby. Now this is a thing.
That's why
it's been great.
Yeah. I feel like the first step towards like wisdom is to admit there's so much to learn. There's always, like, someone's a lot wiser when they can admit they don't know anything than someone who's, and then
that's true.
absorb all the knowledge, and there's no big deal about it, and it very efficient that way. So that's why it's been a success. Yeah.
You got to do a movie with Bruce Willis, right? Surviving the Game. What was that like? Because obviously he's been in the news a lot the last year or two with the struggles that he's having. But what was that like? Because you talk about your legends. He's a legend.
Oh yeah, he totally is. I grew up looking up to him. Like my dad would play his movies all the time. It was I couldn't even imagine working with him. Of course, it's a do so, and it just life had its way of putting us together, and I'm really grateful for that. It was really special working with him. He's very he's direct with his energy, like very supportive with the material we had together. Even playing characters that butt heads throughout the movie. He would show me a lot of respect in between setups and between work, and it was very, very cool. I didn't know what to expect going into it. He didn't have to be nice, he could be rude, whatever, but the show will go on anyway. And
that's right.
He made the decision to be kind and be honorable, and it really meant a lot to me. Someone who's looked up to him a while, like anyone, they want their heroes to be, he's just an inspiration to me. So that's really, really cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. So in your opinion, Die Hard, Christmas movie or not?
Yeah, that's so funny. That's that's like the question of, I don't know what to say, the century, but it's just a going question. I don't know what
I think at this point we have to count it as a Christmas movie because that's when everybody's watching it.
True.
So everybody talks about, oh yeah, I'm watching that this Christmas.
I love that. Actually, you know what? That alone that defines it as a Christmas movie. The fact that people use it they use Christmas time as a great excuse to watch Die Hard again, adds that Christmas element. I think
we've watched it like every Christmas for the last 10, 15 years.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. The numbers go up for Die Hard every Christmas, particularly. It's that alone, the excuse to watch Die Hard because it's Christmas time categorizes Die Hard as a Christmas movie. That's right.
Yeah. Have you been working? I don't think this one's come out, but you tell me if I'm wrong. But you're working on Darkness of Man, which has Jean-Claude Van Damme in it. Is that one still in production or is that out yet?
We just wrapped on that.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah, JC is great, man. He's another.
See, that right there tells me that you got along with him if you're calling him JC.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he's super cool. It was great. He's obviously he's a legend, and similar situation with Bruce. I just hope we'd connect and have a good feeling together, working together. That's indeed what happened. He's like a legend with he kicks in every movie, and it's great.
I spent a lot of time on dates in the 80s watching his movies.
That's awesome. That's cool.
Did he teach you any moves, or did you have like the headstand push-up contest, anything like that while you're on set?
I love that you referenced that in this. He probably that would be a heavy competition. I'd imagine he'd win that. One moment was really interesting because there's a part in it where I actually have to my character, he beats everyone up, kills everyone. It's just violent and whatever. But my character manages to get the jump on him one time. And one who did, I was like, oh my God, what an honor. Oh my God. And we're doing the scene, and I'm just like, I have to hit him with a butt of my gun. And in a very sensitive spot in the back of the head. Cranium there. To make him actually get knocked out. And I was doing it because the camera's angled the right way. You just had the sound effect if it gets close enough, But he's like, no, I want you to hit me. Like, wait,
no what? Thanks.
No,
that's a trap. Don't do that.
I know. I thought maybe it is, but he elaborated on it, which I really respect. He was like, I know you're trying not to hurt me, but I am strong. I can do this. I can take it. I want you to hit me because
That's a pretty decent impression.
yeah, he was awesome. I get it though. He wanted the actual feeling so he can really just ride that feeling out and make the scene as real and raw as possible. So I was like, okay, damn, I really respect that he really cares about this,
Yeah.
like I would imagine, you know. So that was cool. And I was shy about it, and I didn't like full on, you know, hit him, of course, but definitely made contact because he asked me to. So, and then we had the scene, and afterwards he was like really happy about it and thanked me, and it was really cool. He's very humble guy, very cool.
He's an underrated actor too. I mean, everybody loves him for the action stuff and the martial arts and that stuff, but he's a good actor.
He really is a good actor, and I think
Yeah.
it's just a matter of the audience paying attention to his genre and his action. You know, like
Right.
that naturally will outweigh their ability to see that he's actually doing good acting at the same
Yeah.
time. So he gets like all the press or all the, you know, notable things for his action, but meanwhile he actually is a great actor.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So the other one I've been asking about all these legends. The other one I wanted to ask you about was Tom Sizemore, who we just lost, and you got to work a couple different times with him.
That's right. Yeah, I did 2 films with Tom, and he was so cool. He's such a he really enjoys himself doing his work, and he's really cool. He's
Yeah,
man, it's like I can't believe how full of life he is, but like, and then all of a sudden you hear this news that it's like it reminds me how you really don't know what to expect in
that's
life.
right. That's right. That's why you need to take advantage of the time we have.
That's right.
I
It's
mean, he
crazy.
was still relatively young. I mean, early 60s. That's not that old. And
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, gone too soon because he was so talented acting wise.
yeah, so talented. Like yeah, I still remember I've just seen his films before, and then working with him was such a great time. And our scenes weren't directly person to person,
Right.
but it was cool. We hung out like in between on set. The sci-fi film we did together, we had like we just had a scene together where, but it's interesting. He was placed throughout and I'm placed throughout in different storylines, and
Yeah.
scene together in a sci-fi film. He's just a great time. He turns, checks on people between takes, make sure everyone's good with everything and what he's doing. He'll throw things out there too, and just really,
That's just a veteran actor.
yeah, exactly. He's very much a veteran actor, and he knew how to just, you know, have a good time doing
Yeah.
his craft, and it felt great working with him. I thought maybe we'd do. You always imagine you do more, you know. It's a
Oh
trip.
yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's a trip. I can't believe like
Yeah, that was a tough one. I hated hearing that. I've been a big fan of his for forever.
yeah,
Um, so we loved you. You've done a few Christmas movies, what I would call Christmas movies anyway. And my oldest, she's our Christmas expert. So the day after Thanksgiving, she turns on the Christmas movies. Who's watching them? So she's the reason we were watching. But we love the magic. And then there was another one, Second Chance for Christmas, maybe. Does
yeah.
that sound right? Yeah, 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 yeah. But we thought you were really good in both of those too.
Thank you, Michael. I appreciate that.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, those are each very heartfelt to work on. Like both, um, there's a level of catharsis for sure in each of those.
yeah,
Where, um, like Second Chance, I did first, but I literally there's a uh, situation where mom's dying from cancer, like
yeah,
really ridiculously spot on with what actually in real life had happened.
yeah.
So
That
that,
had to be difficult.
yeah, that was, yeah. I guess ultimately I'm thankful that I'm able to give those feelings the existence they deserve. You know, the
Right.
rather than just kind of put them in a cubby somewhere and like,
Well, that's a mistake. Anytime you bottle that stuff up, it's going to come out at some.
That's
better
right.
to use it in a positive manner, which is probably what your mother would want too.
That's right. As she definitely wants. I know that. And I know she feels good about everything. And it's so meaningful to feel that
Yeah,
in a incomprehensible or unexplainable way. But yeah, I definitely feel her presence, like being proud and of what's going on with.
that's awesome. Yeah, that's terrific. I know you do a great job honoring her, so that's terrific. That's the parent in me talking, because I, that's what I would want with my kids and grandkids now, and I know you do a great job with that, so I'm sure she would appreciate that.
Thanks, Michael. I really appreciate that. And
Yeah,
yeah, it's magic too. Like it's a level of catharsis, losing loved ones and going through that process where you're like, not you have such an overwhelming thing oftentimes for so many people
yeah,
that they can grow numb to it. And this character did in the magic that I play, David Kane, and then it will surface back kind of in reference to what you said. It all kind of came to a head, and that's what that story is about, where you just have to get real with yourself at some point and
right.
come to terms with everything. And it's a beautiful Christmas story where,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
a
you.
really good movie.
Thank you. I appreciate
Yeah,
that. It's great. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
Greg.
So the Bay season 7, all of it's out now,
Mhm.
right? But I didn't realize, but you've been filming season 8 already.
Yeah, that's right. Get ahead of ourselves a little,
I mean, that has to feel good, as an actor, producer, director, whatever you're doing. I mean, because most shows don't last that long. And to already have a season out and one filming or done filming, I mean, that's a blessing.
Yeah, it certainly is. I'm really grateful. We didn't really expect it to go this far, but it still just feels fresh. Like it's just been a great time. And it's like you're just doing, oh, let's do it again because that was fun. And everyone on the team's ready. Everyone loves. It's like now I feel like it's circling back to home base and the
Right.
base. It's the longest standing job I've had, and the first one that had the sort of material that's as potent as it is. Like my first real potent role, and now the longest standing, alongside the movies I've been doing and stuff. Like, so I always give it that. It's that cozy home feeling,
That's right.
and it only just keeps getting better as well. Um, proud of all of us
Yeah,
there.
that's terrific. Any surprises in store for this season and the next season?
Yes, yeah. Well, surprises will have to retain their definition with this, where I can't give
No, no, you
away.
don't want as fans, we want to know everything, but also be surprised.
That's
So,
right.
good luck with that.
That's 22 for sure. Like, oh shoot, yeah, that sweet spot of like, you want those, you want that info filled in. You want to know a little
That's
something, but
right.
can't be any spoilers. That's for sure.
No, no, we get very upset with our spoilers.
Totally, I feel you on that. I resonate with
That's the
that.
internet that has screwed that up.
Mhm.
I did. Nobody was worried about spoilers when I was growing up. If you didn't want to know, you just tell hey, stop, don't tell
Yeah,
me.
yeah,
But now you can go online and you see everything.
right. And your eyes will just jump down to reading whatever that spoiler is, or
Yeah,
yeah, they'll just
it
be
only
random.
takes a split second too, and it
Yeah, that's right.
most of the time it's an accident. It
Yeah,
just happens to pop up, and then you're like, oh. Then you got to go tell everybody else so you mess it up for everybody else.
right. When I watched I hadn't seen all of White Lotus season
Oh, that's
2.
a great
I
one.
watched the Globes. Yeah, it's a great show. A lot of fun. I thought, is this a fake spoiler though? In one of the I don't know if you saw, but it was anyway. I shouldn't even spoil it for anyone watching. But there was something mentioned about the how the show ends in a speech, and it was like, oh dang, uh,
Yes, I saw that, and I
yeah,
had already seen it. So
yeah,
so I knew, but yeah, it was a big spoiler that they get.
yeah.
That was like that was the award show.
No, it was crazy. I was like, that must be a fake spoiler or something, like something to get people to watch that's not actually going to happen or
I think
something.
no, it was the real deal.
No, it's just pure rawness and candidness. I mean, I like Jennifer's work very much, though. She's like
She's
awesome.
amazing.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's all
She's
good.
just so authentic. I think's what
Yeah,
everybody loves about her. It's just her. You know,
yeah,
acting or not acting, that's just her.
it's true. It tripped me out how much she was just like her same character on stage almost. Yeah, it is nice though to watch someone that authentic. A lot of people would think, well, we'd hope that as an actor you'd, step into other perspectives and other roles and other characters. But in this case, it was just fine that she just
No,
brought.
no. There's a few actors out there that's all they need to do. Just be themselves, basically, and it works.
Yeah, it works. If it serves the whole story, it serves the project, which in this case it totally did. So
Yeah.
it worked perfect. Mhm.
Yeah, we're big White Lotuses fans, and you know, we got the gentleman that was running the resort in season one showed up on the Last of Us
Mhm.
and was terrific on there as well. It was, you know,
Nice.
it's always strange when you see an actor in two different projects close together that are really different. You
Yeah.
know, because you're not expecting that to see the same person because you just watched him in something. You're like, oh, that's so and so, and then you see him and there's somebody else, and you're like, wow,
Yeah.
that's good acting.
Definitely, I appreciate seeing that too, and doing it when I have the opportunity. It's
Yeah. Well, you've been doing that. That's what you're putting out so much stuff. And what I like about you is you obviously are pretty selective in what you choose to associate yourself with. And that's not always easy when you're doing a higher volume of
yeah.
things. But I think you do really well. Like everything we've seen you in, we've enjoyed. Thought you did a really good job. So you're not picking any clunkers, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Thank you. That really means a lot to
Yeah. Yeah.
feel on the decisions, and thank you for that.
Yeah, you're
That's
welcome. Was it difficult? Like when you first found out that you got to play, basically two roles of, or a set of twins, was that difficult, or did you like, oh yeah, this I definitely want
it was a mixture of both. Like on one hand, it's kind of a lot to process the idea of,
it? Yeah,
uh, especially because I'm kind of, I don't know, I could be hard on myself and to a degree that I'm like, I
sure.
think I'm seeing enough of myself on this show. Why am I gonna be twice lead now? I don't know if I think this is a great idea, but that's coming from my own being hard on myself perspective,
Yeah,
where I feel like that was outweighed by Gregory and Wendy and the team just kind of having a lot of faith in me that I could pull it off, and it could in fact be the most impactful way to do it, to do this
yeah,
role that so recast 3 times, and they decided that it might be best that it's an identical twin, and the other was just a impersonator, and they can just develop this story where there's this idea. So it was like, whoa, this is wow. And then on the other hand, it like was it's an actor's dream to do this, to play
yeah. It's
opposites.
probably fun to play two different roles.
Yeah, it became fun once you like. It's like lifting a weight and your joints aren't quite with it, and then you get like, oh no, I'm warmed up. Okay, all
Yeah,
right.
yeah. That first rep can be a little rough, but then it gets a little easier after that.
Yeah, it gets a little easier once you get the motion down. The switching gears was
Yeah,
psychologically challenging, that's for sure. Like, wow, to switch gears from someone like Adam, like to even get into Adam in the first place was ridiculous. I was like, oh man, I have to get wow, I have to get hateful. I have to have an imagined circumstance about all this, about how I feel about the Garretts. And then I have to establish a very strong opinion about it. And then I have to even go to the degree of getting smug about it, like enjoying the punishment that ensues because I'm so right about this, but I'm also just casual about it. And I have all the power in the world. But I will enjoy being, it's like, it was a trip. Adam's a trip. Like you have to justify the heck out of something to make it actually read is like he's convicted in what he's doing, and he's enjoying it. He knows what he's doing, and his truth is right. Such a
Yeah.
crazy thing. And then to go from that to Pete, where he just leads with this pure heartedness of like, I know what's right, and I know it's painful. I know it hurts, and I know when other people are hurting, and I feel it, and I need to do something about it. He's like less planned out than Adam, but he's just like raw and feeling like,
That's
oh,
right.
he's like open and pure and vulnerable about it. So that felt like, it's a combination of it. I've been doing it for years, but also it feels just more natural. It's less heavy. Also just not having an accent as well, it's easier to just,
Yeah.
so yeah, it's a challenge to do Adam and then to switch into Pete and authentically give Pete and then switch back to Adam and then switch. And production called for that, and it was psychologically like, wow, this is really something to give my all to commit to, and definitely a workout as an actor. Also, I'm really grateful. It's a dream come true to have these two roles as an actor.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And it would have to be like once you kind of accepted it and got into it a little bit, it'd have to be a blast.
Yeah.
You get to, I mean, as an actor, you get to really show some range when you're playing two completely different roles.
Yeah. I'm definitely thankful for that opportunity to show this range. I didn't even imagine. I just didn't imagine playing a role like Adam. It just,
Yeah.
circumstance had its way of making it um like either I rise to this occasion or I don't. And
Right. Oh yeah,
yes,
it could have went horribly wrong.
yeah, that's all. It's a big risk. It was a huge risk. Like, so I knew I just had to overly commit, and
Yeah.
not even given 100% isn't something, because it's for what you already know. I had to go into the depths of what I didn't even know or ever feel,
Right.
and I had to make that my 100%.
Yeah, that's terrific. That's terrific. Well, Kristos, thank you so much. This has been the best. I was really excited to talk to you. Been a fan of yours for a while. And I love the fact that you really started out as an athlete and then got into the acting part. And I think that's kind of neat. I don't think a lot of people get to do that. You get some actors that are athletic, but you were an actual athlete and then went into acting. I thought that was a cool journey that you've been on.
Thank you. That I really appreciate that.
Yeah, you're
I'm
welcome. So a couple little things before we wrap. Anything else that you're working on that we can kind of keep an eye out?
yeah, movie called Breakout coming out with God bless him, Tom Sizemore,
Yeah.
Brian Krause.
Was that his last role?
That
It'd be close, right?
Yeah, it's close. The Breakout is close, and I'm thinking is the sci-fi movie we did together, Battle for Pandora, that literally could have been like I don't actually know what his last role is, but that was very recent. So I don't know. He might have done another
Yeah.
movie.
Well, he was very prolific in his work too. He was very busy actress as possible, but that had to be close. But yeah, that one looks Breakout looks terrific. When does that one come out?
It's still to be announced.
Yeah.
It's in the final stages of post. It's I'm
Yeah,
hearing
it can
it's
take a while.
Yeah, definitely can. It's a nice action movie with a lot of heart in it as well. A family dynamic going on within the madness of all the action.
Yeah.
In Louis Mandalore, father and son have this whole like kind of regaining trust for each other as family in the midst of all this crazy action going on. And for it to make sense and actually weave its nice threading between the action and the heart that's kind of driving the action. It's very, very cool. Like when action's happening, it's high stakes. Some movies do it just for the sake of the entertainment, but when it's driven by actual heart, it's like this action weighs 1,000 times more because an individual was brought to doing this and dealing with this crazy high
Right.
stake that you're feeling while you're watching all this action. So that was a cool aspect to it that I appreciate for sure.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. So last thing before we go, where can we find you on social media?
My handle for Instagram and Twitter is Kristos, Kristos. Yeah, I mean, and then
Yeah, it
Facebook.
comes right up.
Thank you. Yeah, yeah, that's me. And then Facebook, Kristos Andrews. Yeah, it's
Yeah, that's great. Well, Kristos, you got to come back at some point. Now, when you get the next project out, just holler at me. We'll bring you back on.
yeah, will definitely. I definitely look forward to it as well. It's been
Yeah.
a good time with you, man. Appreciate it, Michael.
Oh, you're so welcome. You're so welcome. Okay, hold on 1 second. Boy, you would be hard pressed to find a nicer gentleman than Kristos Andrews. I absolutely had a blast on that interview. He is so humble, so talented. You know, he doesn't have. You know, he's a good looking guy. He's very talented. He's athletic. You know, it'd be difficult for a lot of people to stay humble, but he definitely does that. And everybody that I've talked to absolutely loves to work with him. So I hope you enjoyed that. Meant to ask him. He actually holds some Guinness World Records. I meant to ask him about that, so I have to bring that up next time he comes on. And he is also in I think it's a show. It may be a movie called Fracture, and I wanted to ask him about that one. So I'll save those for next time. I hope you've been watching The Bay over the years. It's terrific. If you haven't, you got 7 seasons to catch up before season 8 comes out. So you better get started. But absolutely worth it. And the spinoff is called YA, and Kristos makes a few appearances on that one as well. Both of them really good. I prefer the Bay, but I like both of them. They're really really good. So check those if you need something to binge. Those are good ones to do that with. Check those out. Thank you guys so much. We have got many of the cast from the Bay coming on the show. So if you enjoyed this interview, if you're a fan of the Bay, absolutely make sure you check out our catalog, because there's going to be a bunch from the cast, the director. We'll have a bunch coming on. I don't know why I'm tied up with the words. I guess I enjoyed the interview. If this is your first time finding us and you enjoyed it, you want to support us, you want to help us, we could definitely use that, and it's free. We don't ask for too much, but we could really use your subscription. It's free, but it helps us so much. That's we take those, and that's how we get guests for the show, because we can say, hey, we have this many followers, we got this many viewers. You know, if you come on the show, then you'll have an audience. That's how. Not always, but that helps us get guests. So please subscribe. If you prefer to watch, it's YouTube MeisterCon Pod. Just hit the subscribe button. If you listen, wherever you listen to your podcast at, whatever platform you're using, just subscribe there. That helps us out. You can find all 550 episodes, audio and video, on our website, meistercon.com. We're doing anything in studio, like watching the Bay, or if we're going on location, if we're covering a convention, whatever we have going on, that'll be on the website, meistercon.com. So definitely check us out there. Thank you guys so much. Until next time, bye, everybody.